From Alabama to California, we're watching your six, folks. Stay ready, stay free. And when the world goes crazy, what should we do? Drink up, sing it fast. It's the Denton and Sasquatch Show. Two voices you ought to know. From prepping tips to politics, they tell it straight. No tricks from Dixie to the Golden Coast. Freedom's what they love the most. Download the podcast, let the truth roll on the Denton and Sasquatch Show. This place is half talk show, half weird daycare. I love it!
Hello and welcome to the Einor and Sasquatch Show, coming to you live from both California and Arizona. My name is Sasquatch. I live in California. His name is Einor. He lives in Arizona, and somehow, through the modern technology we call the internet, we make it sound like we're in the same room. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. How about you?
Well, I've had a pretty good day, but I, as you heard when we started, I kept saying Denton because I've said it for so many years that that it just comes out.
Well, I suppose I could, try and fake a cheesy Alabama accent. And
Yeah,
sound...
that in itself would be funny. I just don't want you to feel like, you know how when you get a new girlfriend and you call her the wrong name?
Well, I'm not worried about being your girlfriend, so don't worry about that.
All right.
Nor am I jealous.
All right, good. We're all buddies here. You know him, he knows you, I know you, he knows me. Yeah, all right. All good. Well, welcome to the show, everybody. If you'd like to email us, you can always do so. It's still dentonandsass@gmail.com. dentonandsass@gmail.com. In case you are new, it is the Denton and Sasquatch Show, but Denton has been dealing with some personal issues. I don't want to say that because it sounds like he's crazy. Well, he is crazy, but it's his mom is getting older and he's taking care of her, so it's taking a lot of his time. So that's what he's doing most of the time. And
yeah, he is crazy, but he's not dealing with it. Instead, he's helping his mom.
Yeah, exactly. And so luckily, Einor was nice enough to offer to help, and he has been helping, and he's been doing a great job. So thank you for doing that.
Not a problem.
All right. I think we got to all the business. Denton used to always say, people always look to California. We should do more California news. And I'm like, all right, I'll do some California news. So that's what we're going to start with.
It kind of spreads like a virus across the country, right?
Yeah, it sort of does. In California, earning $100,000 annually now places households in the lower middle class, according to new data from MoneyLion. This shift reflects the rising cost of living in one of the most expensive states in the U.S. Using benchmarks from the Pew Research Center, the study defines middle class as household earnings between two-thirds and double a state's median income. In California, where the median household income is just above $100,000, the ceiling for lower middle class status stretches to about $111,000. As I hate Windows 11. As a result, even six-figure earners may struggle to make ends meet. So, if any of you out there across the country are thinking about coming to California, I don't know what to tell you.
It's sad. California is one of the most beautiful places on the planet.
It is.
Back in a previous life, I spent a lot of time traveling. And back in the late 90s, even early 2000s, I loved getting sent to California. It was great.
Yeah.
Gorgeous scenery, perfect weather. I mean, it had everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then, for whatever reason, they just went totally insane.
Yeah.
Not just a little insane, but totally insane.
Oh, and they're stretching it out and taking it further and further every time they can.
Yeah. And it's a shame because it could be like the absolute perfect place on the planet to live.
Well, we may have an answer for that. Now we go to Huntington Beach, California, and this is where I used to live. Authorities will be keeping a close watch on waters off of Sunset Beach in Huntington Beach Thursday following the sighting of a great white shark that prompted a temporary closure of the beach. The beach was closed Wednesday after a 9 to 10 foot great white shark was spotted actively feeding on a sea lion carcass near the shore, according to the Huntington Beach Fire Department. The shark was spotted around 10 a.m. Wednesday and was exhibiting aggressive behavior near shore, authorities said. A San Francisco-based wellness company that... Oh, did I not? Nope, I didn't. I just read into the next story. Sorry about that. So yeah, there's sharks off of Huntington Beach. Now, the thing is, I want everybody that lives in California that moved here to throw their hands up in the air and start screaming and run to another state because there's sharks in the water. But they've been here for thousands of years. This area right here is a nursery for mother sharks. So they're here every year. Nobody's ever said a word about them. And now, for whatever reason, some news person found out about it and said, oh, we got to tell everybody about this.
Now it's an issue.
Yep. Now it's an issue. It'll be like when Jaws happened. They'll want to go out and kill all the sharks so everybody can be safe, swimming at the beach. And it's like, you know what? If you swam at that beach, past 50 years, you've probably swam right past a great white, had no clue.
Yeah, yeah. But I remember when Jaws came out. I was a little kid.
Yeah, me too.
And living in Minnesota, and obviously Minnesota in the middle of the country. I mean, there's not a shark within 1,000 miles of Minnesota. So what they do when Jaws came out, everyone freaked out about getting bit by muskies. And you couldn't go near, stay out of that lake. They've got muskies in there. They'll eat you.
Oh, man, well, maybe one of those sturgeons.
Yeah. Oh, it was just the craziest thing. And, I mean, it's what the entire country.
Yep, that was it. It was a panic after Jaws. You want to hear something messed up? I was probably 7 when that came out, and we were at my cousin's house, and my brother and my 2 cousins were all older than me, and they made me watch Jaws, and I was scared to death. We watched the whole thing in the dark in their kind of like rumpus room. Well, when it was over, they had an above-ground pool, and it was dark outside, and they threw me into the pool. And I fought for my life to get out of that pool because I figured Jaws was going to get me.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, that movie messed up a lot of people's heads, but it's a great movie.
It is. I rewatched it again here about 1.5 years, 2 years ago, and it's still an enjoyable movie to watch.
Yep. And finally, final California news. A San Francisco-based wellness group that prosecutors linked to a sex cult is lobbying allies of President Donald Trump in an effort to secure pardons for 2 of its convicted leaders, according to federal court records and interviews. One Taste, a self-described orgasmic meditation company, is pursuing clemency for former CEO and founder Nicole Dayton and former head of sales Rachel Cherwitz. In late March, a federal judge sentenced the 2 women to prison, 9 years for Dayton and over 6 for Cherwitz, after their conviction in 2025 for forced labor conspiracy. The organization has submitted pardon applications to the Justice Department for both women, taking the traditional clemency route.
Okay. Where do you even go with something like that?
I don't know. It's so funny because they're just hookers. That's all they are.
Uh-huh.
And they think they put a fancy name in front of it, and it's like, oh, it's legal. No, it's not. It's still prostitution.
Uh-huh.
So, speaking of that, you had You had
Yeah.
some little something that might go with that.
I got a good one. This comes from the Daily Caller, and the title of it is "Fugitive Stripper Allegedly Attacks Man with a Pole After Getting Fired."
Well, what else would she attack him with?
Yeah, exactly. So this woman, her name was Princess Belle. I'm
course
guessing
it
that's a
was.
stage name,
No,
but
that was her given name.
you never know. But she was from Detroit, and she was a fugitive, wanted on felony warrants from up in Meat Chicken. She was working at this strip club, Taboo Miami, was the strip club,
All right.
and the club manager described described her behavior as bizarre and ongoing friction with other employees, so they fired her. And after they fired her, she returned to the venue to collect her belongings, but instead allegedly tore through the building, hurling objects and shouting profanity before security removed her from the premises. Then she allegedly came back with a metal pole and almost hit the security guard or bouncer or whatever. The security guard or bouncer told the cops he was in fear for his life. Okay, not much of a bouncer then, but whatever. So she left the club, headed towards a Shell gas station on Northwest 17th Avenue and 171st Street, where she ignored police commands to stop and took off running. They chased her down, took custody of her on a westbound on-ramp of State Route 826. And a little bit further down, they've got a photo of Miss Princess Belle. And she's a young woman. She's got kind of that Cro-Magnon look about her, with the eyebrow ridge. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
And so she's got that going on. And then it looks like, I can't really tell from the photo. It's not a great photo. But it looks like she's got a tattoo right at about her hairline. I'm not sure if that's like a price list, or I don't know. She's like the drive-up window at McDonald's, only for hookers. I'm not sure what this whole thing is.
Maybe. Oh man, that's.
But yeah, so it just keeps getting stranger and stranger. But the crazy part of this whole thing, the part of this whole thing that kind of hit me as I'm reading this story, is this happened in Florida, right? And we all make jokes about Florida man does this and Florida man does that, and all the crazy stuff happens in Florida, where the government is doing crazy stuff in California, the civilians are doing it in Florida. Yeah. But it looks like they just attract these loons from all over the country.
Yeah, that's for sure. If I can, I'm going to try to find a picture of that and put it up on the YouTube version of the show, because I gotta see what this dainty little flower looks like.
Yeah, she's kind of spooky looking.
Oh, I bet. Seems like probably third or fourth tier stripper.
Yeah. And she's kind of got that look in her eyes, like, I want to eat your kidneys.
Or your kids.
Yeah, or your kids.
Well, so, I don't want to say we do bad news here. We do weird news, mostly. And we kind of, turn towards that just because I got sick of reading all the bad news. Well, we have some good news for a change.
Bring it on. We need it.
We do. The Justice Department just announced a major shift Wednesday, moving to roll back and modify more than 30 federal gun regulations. The changes follow pressure from Second Amendment supporters in President Donald Trump's base and come as the U.S. Senate confirmed Robert, how do you say his name? Sakata?
Yeah.
As a new director of the ATF. So that's the short version of the story. Now, we don't know exactly what these rules are going to be and everything, but at least it's something moving forward instead of backward. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, yes, yes, absolutely. Well, hopefully at some point here, if we can get the reciprocity going and the whole silencer nonsense lifted, at least at the federal level, that will make me a very happy man.
Yes, that would be a very good thing. Once you get the good news coming in, you want it to stay. So let's keep going with good news. For the first time in more than 40 years, Costco is adding a new option to its iconic $1.50 hot dog and soda combo.
Okay, bring it on, baby.
Have you ever had a Costco hot dog combo?
Yes.
I have
I had a
not.
contract for a number of years. I had about 3 years where I was commuting back and forth between, at that time, Minneapolis, where I lived, and Seattle, Washington. I was out there at least 1 to 2 weeks a month working for Costco.
Oh, okay, cool.
And their cafeteria, it was basically the same thing as at the Costco store. So I lived on those hot dogs for about 2 or 3 years.
That's a great price. I mean, usually when I go to Costco, I get in and get out. I don't hang out. So I've never had a hot dog. Are they pretty good?
They are outstanding. Of course, I'm a connoisseur of gas station hot dogs. You go to the Stop and Rob, and they've always got the gas station hot dogs back there on the rollers.
Oh yeah, they're steamed or
And
whatever. Yeah.
I love those things. I bought one of those roller machines specifically for that reason. And
That would be
yeah.
something awesome to have in the man cave. Is like that roller.
Oh yeah, about twice a month. That's what we have for supper is gas station hot dogs. It's wonderful.
That is awesome. Well, shoppers at the warehouse retailer can now choose a 16.9 ounce bottle of Kirkland's signature water instead of the traditional 20 ounce refillable soda. While the affordable price remains unchanged, the combo, a staple of Costco's food court since 1985, continues to feature a quarter-pound all-beef hot dog served with classic toppings and a soft bun. So there you go.
Yeah, and it's just plain Jane, and it's the best there is, baby.
Going from good. This is good news too, but it's nice. So this is a heartwarming story, and I really actually like this story because we need more kids like this. Heart-stopping video. What's that?
I'm gonna cry with all this good news.
I know. It's the Good News Club. Heart-stopping video from inside a school bus showed nearly a dozen Mississippi middle school students jumping into action after their bus driver lost consciousness Wednesday behind the wheel. Video from the Hancock County School District captured the driver, Leah Taylor, passing out during an asthma attack as the bus continued rolling forward. A student in the front of the bus noticed Taylor slouching over and grabbed the wheel before she briefly regained consciousness again. And I watched the video of this. And, the one kid did grab her, and then the other kid saw what was going on, and they all came up there and were kind of like shaking her and trying to help, steer the bus and do all this stuff. And I was thinking, that's awesome, because we have so many kids today that are just like, facing the phone or, they're in the back doing whatever they're doing, and they don't want to help. And it's like, we need to help each other.
Yes. Well, I'll tell you, and I even wrote about this last week on the OTP. I have been heartily buoyed by not so much the millennial generation, but the Zoomer generation. We've had a couple of young Zoomer families move into the area here, and they are just the absolute nicest people and most well-grounded people that I have met in a long, long, long time.
Well, that's a good thing.
It's a very good thing. I mean, something happened. I don't want to say it's ubiquitous, but something happened somewhere along the line where we crossed the Rubicon, and people are starting to kind of dial back off the crazy, I think. Not all of them, and maybe not even half of them, but enough of them that that I think there's going to be something to salvage here.
Yeah, I hope so. I kind of get that feeling as well. My my father-in-law was here this morning, and he's a good guy, but he's a Democrat, and he was sitting here watching the news, and it's just awful, horrible, just dumb stuff that really doesn't need to be repeated. But they're constantly trying to scare everybody.
Yeah.
And I think that's what kind of made everybody go crazy, is them trying to scare everybody into something. I don't know, but I'm sitting here watching, and everything out of their mouths on the news, I'm just thinking, that's not true. No, or that's not as bad as that, or you could fix it like this, and he just was sitting there biting his nails the entire time.
Uh-huh.
And I'm just like, come on, dude, have a mind of your own.
Yeah, fear porn sells, man. Fear porn sells.
It does, but I mean, I don't watch the news anymore because of that. But yeah, we got two more things before we get to weird news. One, I want you to give any kind of update about OTP, and then we need to have an update about Giraffe if there are any.
Okay. Oh yeah. So OTP, there's really not much more to say. I mentioned to you a couple weeks ago that they had sent me an email wanting us to upgrade our database to the latest and greatest database version. They finally got that installed after 2 months of us harping on them. And honestly, everything seems to be working fine so far. So I think I'm just going to leave it for now. There's no reason to fix what ain't broke.
Yeah, for me, when I go on it, it's a little bit slow, but it's working. So,
Yeah, I guess that's my concern at this point.
Yeah.
So we'll roll with it for a while and see what happens.
And that's otp.com, right?
The outdoortradingpost.org.
.org. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We did have to switch over to the .org extension.
Yeah, I couldn't remember which one that got flip-flopped to.
The .com extension should be coming available here. Well, right now they've got it going through brokers, so we'd still have to pay money to get it. But I'm guessing within the next few months that'll be available. We'll just, for just a normal service fee of, whatever it is, $30 for 5 years or something. And so when that happens, I'll probably buy that up and just point it back at the same site. But
Yeah.
I'll let you guys know when that happens. But it won't affect anything.
All right. And if there's anybody out there listening right now that wants, sick of the website, sick of the X, sick of the Facebook, sick of just the fake stuff, go to OTP and sign up. It's like the Wild West. You can say pretty much anything you want. Nobody's gonna, unless you're talking about doing something bad to kids or something. You're good to go. And everybody ribs each other. Everybody just has fun.
We pretty much take a hands-off approach to running the thing. Don't really moderate it, quote unquote. We've never. I guess we did have one pervert come in there, but that was like 10 years ago, and we got rid of him pretty quick.
Yeah.
So, by all means, come on out. We don't collect your data. We don't sell your data. We don't even review your data. So
We don't do much of anything except bullshit while we're there.
pretty much, yeah.
Pretty much. Okay, now, if you listened to last week's show, we talked about a guy named Giraffe, and it was what I thought was probably one of the funniest stories we've ever had on this show. And I want to know if there's any kind of updates or anything, because last week left it hanging. Giraffe was in jail and then out of jail and had a court hearing or something like that. So take it away.
Yeah, so this is kind of a mini Giraffe update. It's also going to take us off on a side tangent as well.
Oh, all right, those are good.
Introduce a new character in this in this soap opera. So Giraffe had been arrested a couple months ago for catching a couple of trespasser hunters on his 40 acres of land. he went out and, for those of you that didn't listen to last week's show, he went out and disarmed these guys with his rifle and brought them back and locked them up in his barn. Well, the police didn't take too kindly to that, so they arrested old Giraffe, and as far as I know, I think he's still sitting in jail.
Wow.
At least the updates that I've been reading sound like that. So supposedly he had a hearing this week.
I hope somebody's taking care of his ramshackle shack.
His cousin is.
All right, good deal.
His cousin is the one that's given us these updates.
Okay.
So yeah, he had a hearing scheduled for this week, but they canceled the hearing because the hearing was supposed to have something to do with, I guess, a plea deal or something that would have gotten Giraffe, a couple months in the county workhouse and then, go on and have a safe and happy life there, lunatic, that kind of thing. But the county decided to pull back on that plea deal and said, no, I think we're going to go for the grand jury indictment instead.
Uh-oh.
So they apparently found something that in their collection of evidence that wasn't quite kosher. So looks like Giraffe is in the big house for a while, and it's not going to be going great for him.
Poor Giraffe. Maybe we should send him flowers or a cake with a file in it or something.
That's not a bad idea.
We can address it from OTP. Take up a collection from everybody.
Yeah. But here's the crazy part.
Oh yeah, we got the tangent. Yeah.
Yeah, here's the tangent. So let me kind of set the backstory here, and then we'll bring this all together.
All right.
We have a neighbor. He's probably, I don't know, half a mile from where we live. I call him mildly retarded Leroy, mainly because his name is Leroy, and, well, he's mildly retarded. But mildly retarded Leroy is basically everything you would think in a guy named mildly retarded Leroy. He doesn't have a tooth in his head. Not that that adds anything to the story. I just think it's funny. But he's just the most, I don't know, angry, just dark, just awful human being that the world has ever created. I don't know what demons he's got in his background, but whatever they are, they're bad.
Oh man.
And mildly retarded Leroy apparently had done some time in prison for burglary. He was breaking into houses and stuff, and he hasn't really gotten any better in the intervening time. Now he's about my age, late 50s, early 60s, somewhere around there. But mildly retarded Leroy was apparently one of the trespassers on Giraffe's property.
Oh, okay.
And so here we get into kind of a caveat for me. Locking mildly retarded Leroy in your barn is not necessarily a bad thing. That's actually where he belongs, locked up somewhere. So, that's not all bad. By the same token, I don't want a guy, in this case, Giraffe, out just randomly locking people up in his barn either. So, I'm not sure where this whole thing goes. And then you throw into it the fact that mildly retarded Leroy, being a convicted felon, is not supposed to have firearms.
Well, there is that.
And, he's out hunting, so he presumably had a shotgun, or, well, in his case, it could have been anything, but presumably a shotgun. And so Giraffe's defense attorneys are planning to use that to try and get the charges dismissed.
Oh, smart.
Well, I'm not sure how that works, but
Wow.
So yeah, this whole thing is really turning out to be quite the soap opera drama, and I'm just kind of sitting back laughing at the whole thing from the peanut gallery, you know?
Yeah, and I'm wondering who hangs out with a guy like Leroy.
Well,
So
there is that.
there's got to be something good there too.
I'm sure there is. I don't know the other party, but meth head, I don't know.
Well, they do tend to run together, so
Yeah, they do tend to run in packs like jackals. So
who knows? Good old Giraffe might get a commendation or something by the time this is over.
Well, yeah, this whole thing is just it's too bizarre for me to even be able to make light of it properly, but I do my best for you.
Well, I appreciate it. If any pictures of Giraffe come up, like in the local paper or anything, definitely send it to me because I want to put it up on the YouTube.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I don't even know what this guy looks like, so but if he warranted a nickname, a Giraffe, it's got to be special.
He's like Sasquatch. You've heard of him, but you've never seen him.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for giving us that update. That was fun. It's always fun hearing about Giraffe.
I'm thinking this may go on for a while because this is getting weirder and weirder every day.
Yeah, it seems to, and I encourage it.
Well, it keeps life interesting, you know?
It does. All right. Well, now that we got that taken care of, let's get into weird news.
It's time for Weird News.
We got our man, or woman, maybe. I don't know. Residents of the Altamonte Springs neighborhood of Spring Oaks reported finding human feces on their vehicles, mailboxes, and in their yards. Alexis Weber, 50, was arrested on Tuesday morning after taking a dump in her own front yard, but it didn't stop there. No, a neighbor was smeared too. My husband texted me that his work van was full of feces. I was like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "Yeah, there is poop on my van," and I just couldn't believe it, said Yvette Gomez. While she's only been linked to one, residents say the fecal vandal is responsible for multiple incidents that have including over the weekend involving a shared neighborhood food pantry. Oh no, not the food pantry.
Oh, man.
Where residents of the neighborhood on Edge reported finding feces. According to the Spring Oaks... Yeah. According to the Spring Oaks Homeowners Association Vice President John Battle, the residents worked together to report the incidents to law enforcement. He pointed out, if you call and say someone is doing something, doing this on your car, it's Florida. You aren't going to believe it. So it's another Florida story.
Uh-huh. See what I'm saying?
This next one is...
now, it sounds like this was an HOA, no less.
Yeah, I think it may have been even a gated community. The picture had like a really nice sign of the neighborhood, you know. So I'm thinking it might have been gated. I don't know.
So did they have this in the rules for the HOA that you can't poop on people's stuff?
Oh, you know what? That's something to look into. She may get off. Well, she already gets off on doing this, but she may get off entirely if they didn't have it in the rules.
Yeah, those HOA Karens, they got your back, baby.
Luckily, I've never had an HOA, but my parents have, and I've heard so many stories about the Karens.
Yeah.
All right. This one I think is near you. Police in Phoenixville. Is Phoenixville in Arizona?
It must be.
Well, police in Phoenixville are actively looking for drunk volunteers. The idea sounds something like a cooked-up late-night show or maybe an April Fool's brainstorm, but it's real, and they're serious about it. Here's how it works. The department will supply alcohol and snacks while officers stay completely sober and observe. The goal isn't entertainment, it's training. These drunk volunteers help officers practice field sobriety tests in similar situations in a controlled environment. A bit unusual for sure, but not new either. These wet labs have existed for years, even if many locals are just now hearing about them. The problem here is, at the end of the event, the volunteers are released, and then they hear all the officers maniacally laughing. Because they know these guys are going to go get in their cars and drive off, and they can arrest them.
Oh, yeah. Well, not to mention, okay, help me out here. Most of the cops that I know, now, admittedly, I don't run in cop circles, but I do know, the local sheriff's deputies and stuff that patrol around us. Mm. And these are all, normal, everyday, average, blue-collar guys. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not like they don't tip one back once in a while.
Oh, yeah, a lot of cops do a little of the drinking.
Yeah, sometimes more than a little. And so, who are these officers that county is hiring that they need to go through this training? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm sure they probably have a little knowledge of it themselves. Too crazy. Now, this last one, I'm only going to read the headline. Are you still with me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I thought I heard something go out. I'm only going to read the headline, and then I'm going to say what I have to say. Massachusetts woman jailed for unleashing thousands of bees during eviction tussle. So I guess the basic story is they were trying to evict her, and she was a beekeeper, and she just said, "Oh yeah, well here's the bees," and she let them all go. But I have said that for years. When we have these protests, all you got to do is drive up with a truck full of bees. Uh-huh. And these people that are cementing their hands to the cement or, chaining themselves together and doing all this stuff, as soon as those bees come out, they're gone.
Oh, absolutely.
And after, you do this a couple times, you don't even have to drive up with bees. Just drive up with a truck that sounds like bees, and then they'll all take off. Train these people.
Yes. Well, I'm sure you've seen these on the YouTubes, where they have those protesters that put on those inflatable costumes.
Uh-huh.
And the big thing now for the counter protesters is to go up and apparently these costumes have a little fan in the back usually that inflates them, that keeps them inflated with air.
Yeah, I've seen the videos. I know where this is going.
And they put the fart gas stuff in there. Yeah. I mean, that's what we need to do.
Exactly.
Make an absolute mockery of these people, and they'll stop doing it.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. I mean, I got no problem with protesting, but when you're doing, damaging artwork or chaining yourself together, it gets a little old after a while.
Or just being stupid.
Yeah, and being stupid. Stupid people are not my favorite, that's for sure.
Yeah, and the older I get, the less tolerance I have for them.
Oh, I'm right there with you. Trust me, I am right there with you. All right, well, that wraps another show.
Well, there you are.
Make sure that you are thankful for every day that God has given you. Help each other whenever you can, with bees if you have to or whatever. Stay safe and don't take any crap from anybody. Have yourself a blessed day, everybody, and we'll see you.
Have a good week, y'all.